Hey, what up guys, welcome to my channel. This is Fred. Okay, so I want us to look at this together. This is the elevation and plan of a drawing, actually the elevation and plan of if you like, an object. All right, so the question says two views of a block are shown below in first angle projection. Draw in isometric projection, making x the lowest point. So we want to draw this. In other words, we are converting from orthographic into isometric. All right, now I have done an introduction of how to convert from orthographic into isometric. You might, if you are new to this kind of question, you might want to go see that video to enable you understand what you are going to do here. So the first thing we're going to do is to draw a box that will contain this object. Okay, but before we draw the box, okay, I would like to explain a few things here. Now, this is the elevation, this is the plan. The elevation and plan is just enough information. Okay, so from the plan, I know this part here is a cylinder, like it's round. Okay, like if it is extruded, it's round. Okay, and this is the base. All right, from the plan, I know that this is a rectangle. This is 90, this is what, 80. All right, so this cylindrical stuff here is at this point and it's coming out. Now it has been sectioned from the elevation. I know that it has been sectioned. Now let me quickly say this. Now circles in isometric will appear as what? Ellipse. All right, and you can use any of the general method of drawing a circle to be able to achieve that in isometric. Now again, there is a video I did on isometric circles, how to draw isometric circles. You might also want to see that video so you could learn or know how to draw isometric circles. But there is a little should I say problem now here. Not really a problem, there's actually no problem in technical drawing, but here you don't have actually a circle. What you have is an ellipse. So a circle in 2 dimensions, okay, will appear as an ellipse. Now an ellipse in 2 dimensions, like the true shape now, is an ellipse. In isometric form, it will also be what? An ellipse. But you cannot apply the isometric circle method of drawing an ellipse to achieve that. The only method that will work here is the transfer method. So you have to transfer points to be able to what? Achieve what? That elliptical surface. So that's exactly what we are going to do. So now we are going to draw a box. Okay, if this were to be your horizontal line, this is your vertical line, this is the sloping 30 degrees line to the right and to the left. Now this will be the lowest part of the drawing. From the question we could see that. Now that is x. Now let us look at the length to the right. So the total length to the right is what? 90. So this is 90. The total length to the left is 80, as you can see. So this is 80, and the total height is what? From here I could tell 40 plus 10 is 50. So the total height is 50. So I will use this formation to draw an isometric box to look like this. So 50 50 50 80 80 80 90 90 90. So I will do that real quick now. Okay, so here it is. Now I can tell you this, the box method is your best bet anytime, any day. It works like magic. All right, and it avoids it stops you from making a whole lot of errors. Okay, so here we have the box 90 80 50. Okay, this is 90, this is 80, and the height is what? 50. So the whole of this drawing is going to be what? This box is going to contain this drawing. So remember to use thin lines, not thick lines. All right, so the next thing is we'll now start what? Transferring parts. So from here, I know this height is what? 10. So I'm going to measure 10 here, I'll measure 10 here, and I'll measure 10 here, and I will connect them. Do you understand? So I have my this is 10, that is 1 in cm, this is 10, and this is 10. So I'm going to connect using 10 lines at the moment. 10 lines at the moment. Okay, now let me say this again. If you seem confused at the moment, you have to go see other videos on isometric, okay, especially introduction to isometric. It's the only way you can understand what is going on here. I can guarantee you when you see those videos and you come back, this won't be a problem at all. Okay, so now remember, we have to now position this circular base. Now remember, it is circular at the base, at this base here, it is circular, but it is elliptical. I mean, in reality, it is elliptical at this surface here. Okay, so we're going to look for, and remember, in previous videos I told you that to draw a circle, you need what? A rhombus. In isometric, to draw a circle in isometric, you need a rhombus. So I'm going to draw the surface, this surface on which this circular base is going to lie. So I'm going to draw this thickness now here. You know, this is a thickness of 10. So on this surface, I'm going to try to complete it with thin lines. All right, so it's very simple. Align your set square like this with this line here, the horizontal here, and transfer to this point. Draw thin lines. All right, now if this is 90, definitely this should also be what? 90. So I'm going to measure 90 on it. So this is the point 90. So I'm just going to join here with this point 90 here. Remember, I'm using thin lines. Okay, so that is my surface. The surface here. All right, that is the one on the top here. All right, so I would like to position the rhombus, in this case now rhombus, that will contain this circular base. How? Now we've been given the dimensions. So from this point to this point is 40. So if this is 80, half of it is 40. All right, so I'm going to locate 40 here, and I will draw a thin line. Okay, then I'm also going to locate from the back 40, another 40, and I will draw a thin line. So this is 40. So if this is 80, this is the center 40. All right, so I'm going to draw lines, transfer this line here to this point here. So I discovered that it is coinciding with this line already, so perfect. All right, it's coinciding with this line already drawn. But remember, we are focusing on the base, this base. So it is from here, this point to this point. Now the other one is 40 from behind, as you can see. So we measure 40 from behind. This is 40. Right? So align your set square like this and transfer lines to this 40. And draw a line across, thin line. So that's it. So remember, we are focusing on this base. Don't take your eyes off it. Now, what is the diameter of the circular base? The diameter is 70. That means half of it is 35. That's radius. 35 making 70. So I am going to do this real quick because I want to draw a rhombus at the base where I will draw the circular base, and I will extrude up using the information that's been given. So align your ruler like this. So if it is 70, so this is my 70, so that means half of 70 will be what? 3.5. So I'm going to align 3.5 with this center, this point of intersection here. So once that is done, the beginning here will be what? 0. All right, and this will be what? 70. So half of it is what? 3.5. 3.5 plus 3.5, that's 70. Then I will do the same thing for this side. I will align here. This is the center, don't forget. Okay, because of the light reflection, let me put it this way so you can see it clearly. So this is 70. This is 3.5 down to the center, and this is 70 here, or 0 here rather. So from 0 to 70, and this is half of it, which is 3.5, corresponding with what? This center. Don't forget. Now what I'm going to do next is I will transfer lines. Align your set square with this part. Okay. Transfer to this 70 where you dotted 70 here. Just draw a thin line. Okay. Continue. Transfer to this other 7. This point. This is 0 now, and this is 70. Draw a thin line across, like this. Okay. Now come over and align your set square like this with this part. Properly aligned. Now transfer to this point here where you measured 70 the other time. So draw lines to cut the first lines you've drawn, and transfer to this point and draw lines. Now can you see the rhombus now? Now this is where I would draw my circle. So the first one we're going to draw is the circular base. We'll get to the top later on. So let's focus now. Draw lines. If you don't know how to draw isometric circles, go check out isometric circles. There is a video on isometric circles. Check it out. You should be able to do that. Sorry, let me position my ruler in this form because of lights. Okay, join the what? Major diagonal. The longest diagonal rather. So when you're done with that, choose any point, either this point or this one. Alright, so I'm choosing this one. So connect to the center, because this line is the center. Connect here also to the center with thin lines. Connect here to the center with thin lines. Now, the point we are looking for actually is where this line cuts this long diagonal. So it intersects at this point here and at this point here. All right, please watch very closely. This line is intersecting this line at this point and at this point. All right, so we're going to draw the complete ellipse at the base, okay? But it's going to be thin lines because we don't need the whole of it. Only part of it will be visible. You will see that later. So you needle here, you stretch to this point. All right, so if it is touching this point here, this half here, it should also be touching this half here. So with thin lines, draw an arc. Use thin lines for now. You do the same thing for this other side. You needle here, you stretch to this point. If it is touching this point, it should also touch this point. So draw an arc. All right, then next you needle here, this point here, and stretch to this point. All right, so ensure it is touching it perfectly. If it is touching this point, it should also touch this point. So you draw an arc. All right, then finally you needle here at this point of intersection here, you stretch to this point. If it is touching that point, you should touch this point, and you draw an arc. So we have this. This is the base, this base, the circular base. Now the top is elliptical in real life. It is not circular. So take note of that. So what are we going to do next? Now we cannot draw the top. Now it is easy to draw the elliptical, the circular base, but in isometric now it is elliptical. Now, but the top in real life is not circular, so we cannot apply this method to drawing the top. So we can only apply the transfer method. The transfer method. Okay, so how do we go about that? Now look at the back. At the back here, this is what, 40. While at the front here, this is what, 20. Now, remember, this is the back. If you are viewing from this side, this is the back, and this is the front. So there's going to be a vertical line here, and we're going to measure 40 on the line. There's also going to be a vertical line here, and we're going to measure 20 on it. So this is it. Remember, this line you're seeing here, all right, represent this one, while this one you're seeing here represent this one. Okay, so from this line, this point here, assuming it is coming up like this, so you measure 40 on it. Then this one, which is this point here, it is coming up like this, then you measure 20 on it. So we're going to erect a vertical line here and erect another one here. We're going to measure 40 on this line and measure 20 on this line. I hope that's clear enough. Then, so align your set square with the vertical like this. Transfer a line to this point and erect a thin line. We're going to measure 40 on it later. Transfer to this front now, this point, and erect another thin line. We're going to measure 20 on it. Okay, so measure 20 on it on the front as seen from the, so this is 20 and this is 40. This is 40. All right, so now we have those 2 points. I'll have to bore them a little bit so that they can be visible. Then this is 20 also. Ball it a little bit so they can be visible. Now to get the other points that will form the elliptical top, I have to what make the true shape, make a true drawing of this in a separate corner. Okay, then I'll now transfer points into this particular drawing. That's the only way you can get the elliptical sliced surface, as you can see. So I'm going to project this you're seeing here using the dimension given at the corner. Okay, so carefully look at this. I need this to actually complete this drawing. So how did I come about this? This was what I just projected here, so I only needed this part. Okay, so I drew a horizontal line first. I dropped a perpendicular. Okay, a perpendicular on the line. Then I measured the distance here. This is 70, as you can see from the plan. So I measured 70. After measuring 70, I noted the center. The center will be 3.5. So I measured 70. That's it. With center 3.5. So I transferred lines. This vertical line, I transferred it here. You know how to transfer lines using your ruler and your set square. And I dropped. So from here, I have here to be 40. I measured 40 on it. I have here to be what? 20. And I measured 20 on it. So I connected it with a ruler. And I had that. So I divided the base into 6 equal parts. So I needled here. Stretch to the beginning. That's the center. The center is 3.5. And I drew an arc. After drawing the arc with same radius, I needled here. I cut the arc at this point. Needle here, just divide into 6 equal parts. That's it. Cut the arc at this point. Okay, using same radius. Then I transferred a line. This line, I transferred it to this center here, this midpoint. So I drew a line down. So with this same radius, I needled here. I cut this part and this part. So I had all 6 points. So again, I transferred lines to all points. This point up, 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 and up to cut through, to touch this sliced surface. So I'm going to transfer the whole of this. These distances you're seeing here, from this down to the top here, this 2 to the top, this 3 to the top. I'm going to transfer it into this drawing, this particular drawing here. I hope that's clear. Okay, so let's start now. Okay, so now we're going to transfer now 1, 2. You know, this line you're seeing here you're actually seeing it as a straight line, but it's not a straight line. It's what? A circle, but it's on a plane, on a flat surface. So you're seeing it as a line. So this is the part you're actually seeing. This whole thing you're seeing here is what is represented by this line. So this is half the circle, this is the other side. So we're going to get this 1. We're going to look for the location here on this circle. 2, 3, 4, and 5. So how? Now it's very simple. Take your pair of divider. So just like you're seeing this measurement here, all of these divisions here, you're going to transfer them on this line here. All right, so needle and stretch 0, 1. Just a minute. All right, you stretch 0, 1. That's my 0, 1. All right, so you transfer here, you needle here, just cut this line. That's 0, 1. Then the distance from here to this point is the same thing from here to here. Distance from here to 2 is the same from this 6 to 4. The distance from here to the center is the same. So there's no need stretching this part. Just come here. Sorry. And cut this line. So you stretch 0 to 2. That's my 0 to 2. You come over here, needle on, not here, still on same point here, just like you needle here. So you needle here, cut, and do the same thing here. Needle on this edge and cut. Okay, so this is 0, this is 1, this is 2, this is 3. Sorry, the center will be 3, this is 4, this is 5, and this is 6. This is just to help you understand. So we've already drawn 0 here, 4. We've already drawn 2 here, that's 6. We've already drawn it, the height, I mean 2. Okay, now these points you're seeing here, we're going to locate them on this circular, on this ellipse you're seeing here. So how? Align your set square with this part, support with your ruler. Okay, now transfer to 1. Now draw a line. Now I won't draw the full line. All I need to do is just to cut the ellipse, because I don't want the whole drawing to be crowded with lines. So I'll actually supposed to draw this line all the way down, but I'm not going to draw it full. So I'll just cut the ellipse here and cut the ellipse. So those are the points I'm looking for, these 2 points here. Then I'll transfer to the next one, that's 2. Look at 2 here. So I will cut the ellipse here and I'll cut the ellipse here. I will transfer. This is the center, is already marked here, center, so no need. You move over to the next one, which is 4. So like I'm drawing a line, but I only cut the ellipse and I'll cut the ellipse. Then you move to 5. Here I'll cut the ellipse at this point and I'll cut the ellipse at this point. So we already have 6. Okay, now just like you have vertical lines erected on 0 and 6 here, we're going to erect lines here, vertical lines here. Okay, all over. We're going to erect at this point of intersections. We erect vertical lines there. So to be able to do that, all you need to do is to what? Transfer vertical lines. So you align your ruler like this with a vertical line. So you transfer here to this point here. Draw a thin line up. There's another one here. Draw a thin line up. Transfer to this center here. Draw a thin line up. Transfer here. Draw a thin line up. Transfer here. So transfer to all the points. I want to keep this video very short. Okay, so that's it. I'm done. Now remember, so I have to relabel. So this one is for this one and this one. These 2, remember I transfer the lines, is for these 2 and these 2. This is 3. This is 4 and 4. This is 5 and 5 through 5. And this is 6. Now you move over, you come over here. Now 0 to this point has already been indicated since the beginning of the drawing. Okay, then 6, that is 2, has already been indicated on 6 here since the beginning of the drawing. Now the next one is 0. So I will come over here and I will needle on 1 and stretch to the top, this corresponding top here. All right, remember it's for 1. Now we'll come over here. Now you see these 2 lines are very close, so make sure you are needling on what? 1. Then cut 1. Now this is the point of intersection of 1. You ball it. We have another one here, so you cut, you needle here and cut 1. So that line is not long enough. I'm going to extend it a little bit. Okay, so this is the point. You ball it. Okay, I hope that's clear. All right, so you ball. Now I don't know if this video was out of focus, so let me re-explain. So you stretch 0 to 1, I'm sorry, 1 to the top. You come over here, this is point 1, you needle on this line, cut the top and ball it. This is 1, focus on 1, you needle here, you cut the line and you ball. So now move over to 2. So you needle for 2, stretch to the top here, this sloped surface here. I hope that's clear. Then you come over, look for all the 2. So this is number 2. Cut line 2. Remember, the lines are very close, so note the one that is 2. So I have this, and this is also 2 here. Move over to 2 and cut, and I have 2 here. Ball. Now stretch 3. Move over to 3, cut, move over to 3 here also and cut. So I have those 2 points, 3 and here 3. You can see that the elliptical surface is coming out. Then do the same for 4 and 5. I want to keep this video short. So when you do that, you have this whole, can you see this elliptical surface? All right, so what I want to do first, I want to draw the visible outline of this part. Let me draw them visible so that you can understand what is going on here. Okay, so that's it. So I want to make this part visible, this half circle, or make it visible. So you have to go and stretch what you did when you were drawing the ellipse. Okay, you needle here, you stretch to half, which is this point here. Okay, or just stretch to the arc you've drawn, but do not exceed this half and do not exceed this half here. Okay, so needle and draw using thick lines. Just make it visible like that, and you do the same here. Make this half here visible, just the half. Then needle here, stretch to this point here, this half here. Hope you can see that clearly. And draw this one thick. All right, so now you're going to use a French curve or a broomstick to what, connect this ellipse here. Okay, so this is it drawn. Okay, now ensure your ellipse is very perfect. Now I'll go see a video on how to draw an ellipse that I did using broomsticks and a French curve. All right, your ellipse must be perfect. Now the next thing you do is get this vertical line, all right, and transfer to this point where the circular base ended. Let me take that again here, and draw it to touch this elliptical surface. Don't miss, with thick line. Sorry about that. Do the same thing here. Sorry, my lead is gone. Let me change it. Okay, so connect this thick line. That's it. Then connect here to touch the body at this point. Thick line, and you connect this part to touch the body at this point with the thick line. Then you join here. So that's your drawing. So the next thing you do is you just dimension the drawing and you're good to go. Okay, so dimension your drawing and you're good to go. All right, if you do not understand anything, you can always go back again and watch, and definitely you will understand. Do not forget to subscribe to this video. Do not forget to recommend to someone who might need these videos, and do not also forget to click on the like button and subscribe to this channel. All right, till I see you again, do have a nice day.